Absolutely.
We
Shift
have
book winner. Here you go.
2 brand spanking new shift books today, going to Herm in the Stanford office and Mike Pierandri in Richfield. Yay!
Woo-hoo!
Come get them, everybody, please.
And if you're in the Ridgefield Market Center, please make arrangements with me to come and get them because I'm running out of room in my office. They're stacking up. Got to get them into your hands so you can start that reading. All righty. So let's take a quick break from all things work and
this is a commercial. It's hilarious. This is from Canada.
You could either have this beautiful bouquet of flowers you
hey,
can
don't
give
know
to
why
your
that
mom,
happened.
or a year's worth of ice cream.
I think I'm gonna go with the flowers because I care about her more.
For over 40 years, we've been making the choice easy. Trust 1-800-Flowers.com this Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. Mother's Day.
Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. I have no idea where my actual.
No better time than right now to learn how to become a great singer, right? I mean, we're all just
Who
sitting
are
at
these
home,
people?
quarantined.
Hold on.
I'm here in my house in Los Angeles, California, and I'm just thinking, instead of just sitting on the couch all day and watching Netflix, what if I actually worked on my skills?
All right, we're starting again.
This is a commercial. It's hilarious. This is from Canada.
Whoa, that's not good.
Oh, I don't need this. I'm already late.
Somebody will come. Anybody out there?
Do you have a phone?
No. Sorry. Somebody! Hello? There are 2 people stuck on an escalator and we need help. Now, would somebody please do something?
Sunlight in the morning, lying in my bed is my...
Very funny. Very, very funny. I looked it up, and Beesel, I guess, is pronounced, and it's a margarine. I don't understand the commercial, the connection of that, but things are different in Canada. That's this is a commercial for boat motors.
Party nights, summer whites, you, your friends, and your Johnson. Rooster tails, water trails, you, your kids, and your Johnson. Saturday nights, distant lights, you, your girl, and your Johnson.
You and your Johnson, a way of life for over 50 years.
Wow.
There's nothing to say right there. This is a Geico commercial.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Does a former drill sergeant make a terrible therapist?
And that's why yellow makes me sad, I think.
That's interesting. You know what makes me sad? You do! Maybe we should chug on over to Mamby-Pamby land where maybe we can find some self-confidence for you, you jackwagon! Issue?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Oh, that guy needs to relax and spend some time with his Johnson. He's just... Here's another commercial.
Come to say hi to Mommy?
Oh, I love to get the kisses. Oh, Mommy loves your boyfriend and I'm gonna eat your tummy. Kiss you and kiss you and kiss you and kiss you.
Hey, hun? The food's getting cold?
Cat love. Get more with Whiskas.
All righty, there we have that. All righty, I hope it was worth the wait. You know, my big takeaway from that was when they're on the escalator and she asks, "Do you have a phone?" Because she didn't. You can just kind of tell how old that commercial was. That couldn't quite go down today, right? All righty. Tammy, I believe you have an FHA update for us, yes? Or no? Tam? All right, so we'll move forward. Couple of quick things. I wanted to make sure that everyone knew, and I will get this out via email.
Rick,
That
I'm here.
Okay, let me announce this and I'll get back.
Okay.
The investor seminar that we have been producing for you quarterly will go off on May the 13th. So it's Wednesday, I believe, May the 13th. And that will, I'm still nailing down the time. We've typically gone off at, oh, my goodness. I think I have to go home early today. My production skills have been waning. We're still looking at a time. We typically do that at 6:45. We may rewind that to 6 o'clock just because most people are home, and so we may not have to wait for people to get home from work. So we're still weighing the pros and cons of 6 versus 7, but one of those two times we will move forward with and produce that for you via Zoom on Wednesday the 13th. So we will have collateral material for you to get out to your databases and your clients by Friday, so watch for that. All right, now Tammy, an FHA update.
Sorry, I couldn't get myself off mute. Hi, everybody. So I want to just I've heard that there are some lenders who are not doing FHA, and I just want to like crush any rumor mill. We are doing FHA full on, full force. Our minimum credit score for an FHA loan was increased from 580 to 620. So, but we are all systems go as far as FHA goes. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. That's my minute.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And I do want to just mention one other thing with regards to showings in New York, because this question kind of keeps coming up. And so showings in New York, physical showings in New York are not permitted as per the governor's executive order. There are people who are choosing to ignore that. I don't encourage you to be one of them. And so what that means is if you have buyers who are interested in looking in New York, work with the listing agent, see what arrangements you can make. And then if the buyers want to show up at the front doorstep of the sellers and walk through the property without you, with the sellers, we cannot stop them from doing so. However, physical showings are not permitted in the state of New York. And so I know some of you have been having conversations with other agents in the state of New York, some of whom have decided that they're going to do what they please. And that's put you in kind of a funky position. So I get that it's a funky position to be in. Take the stand of doing what the executive order asks of us, and take that stand on behalf of both yourself and your client's health and safety. So that's just a reminder in New York. I have been asked to do a quick reminder about the calculation of month supply of inventory. So I'm going to spend just 3 minutes showing you that really quick because some of you go to Broker Metrics and you're looking for a simpler way to do it so that you don't have to ask somebody to run Broker Metrics for you. I'm going to show you how I do it on the MLS. Again, it takes just 3 minutes to show you. It's a really fast calculation and really imperative when you're speaking with buyers and sellers today. Before we jump to that, any questions that you have with regards to anything going on in your businesses or in the world as we know it? Nothing you've been dying to get off your chest and waited for a 4:30 call to deliver?
Rick, about
Yes.
Stamford, when we show the property, only one person is allowed with the agent, or we can take, to also, because I think I read somewhere that only one person is allowed in the property.
Are you talking about in Connecticut, Sonali?
Yes, in Connecticut.
Okay, so in Connecticut, the rule states that you may physically show property with the actual buyers and only the actual buyers. And so if you have a couple buying the property, you can certainly take them into the house, understanding that you and they will be socially distant of at least 6 feet apart with the proper equipment, mask, gloves, bubble wrap, saran, whatever else you're using to protect yourself. But what is not permitted in the state of Connecticut is all of the other 79 people who oftentimes want to see the house as well. Mom, dad, brother, sister, children, great grandma, all of those people need to view it virtually or just trust the buyer's decision. Imagine that. We have had issues where people have been pushing to have additional family members come to see the property, and that's just simply not the way we're able to work right now. So,
actually, do you know? Can we get let contractors into the property, like one contractor to do an estimate, or is that? Does anyone know offhand?
So contractors for estimates. What I would encourage is if you're going to if the sellers are living in the house, that you leave that to the sellers to take care of. If it's a vacant house, you'll need to make a decision. If you're going to do it, I would treat it like an appraiser, where you're there to open the door, let them go and do what they have to do. You wait outside, and then when they come out, you lock it up. And also, I'll remind everyone about Porch. Right, Porch is a part of Command. Porch is a free tool as a part of Command, where you upload the inspection report or upload the issue that you have, and Porch sources local contractors right inside of Command to deliver estimates on that work, where no one even has to go and look at the property. So I get there are some things that really do need their eyeballs on it, and yet for a lot of things we can start sourcing local contractors' pricing and at least getting estimates via Porch and doing it digitally instead of diving people in there. Yes, Kimberly.
Did I hear that our COVID disclosure questionnaires were getting updated?
You did hear that, and they're not ready yet. I expected to have them done by today. They are not back yet, so I'm fingers crossed for tomorrow. But we do expect by the end of this week we will have updates to make just for ease of use and ease of digestion, if you will. So we're working hard to get those finished and get them out to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All righty. Anything else? Any other questions before we move on to our quickie?
I just wanted to let people know that Steve and I are going to be hosting, and Steve, Carlos, and I are going to be hosting our first virtual career night next week, Thursday at 3 p.m. 20 million people across the country out of jobs right now, filing for unemployment. I'm sure some of them are pretty awesome people and could be excellent real estate agents. And, so if you know people that are out of work or you think could be a great real estate agent, let them know. You'll be getting some more information about that from us probably within the next day or so that you can send out to your spheres and things like that. So, yeah, let's blow this one up.
And now you can get your licensing done in Connecticut online, so that's even more reason.
Yep. All right, that's it.
Cool.
So next Thursday, what day is that?
The 7th.
Next Thursday, the 7th. Perfect. And one last thing, we do have seemingly, thank you, Jody Boxer, for sourcing a bank that may work with you if you don't have all of the requirements that many of your other banks have been asking you for, like being a customer or business accounts and all those different things. So if you are still interested in filing for the PPP, just text me later this evening, and I'll connect you with who you need to be connected with, so that you can perhaps utilize that resource as a means to get your PPP submitted. And again, thank you to Jody Boxer for locating that resource. Alrighty, so with that, if anybody else, let's just jump into calculating month supply of inventory, because there is a really simple way to do that, and it is on the MLS inside of the property search tool. Let's just decide to do single family in Brookfield, because why not? Because it's right there. Right? You're going to do it, so you're going to choose what it is you're looking to do. And if you're looking for the entire market, you may do all of these types. Please don't use residential rental unless you're specifically using residential, looking for residential rental, because it skews everything. So in this case, we're just going to look at single family. And in this case, I'm going to do it 3 times. I'm going to do it with just the citywide and then 2 different price brackets, so that you hear the formula 3 different times. So you want to come down here to status, and the first thing you want to do is click on closed and do 0 minus 90. So that's going to give you the total number of properties that have closed in Brookfield in the last 3 months, right? You don't ever have to leave here because the numbers show up right at the bottom for you. You see that down there where it says 32 matches? So 32 properties closed in the last 3 months. If 32 properties closed in the last 3 months, and you divide that by 3 to get a per month number, you get 10.7, right? So 10.7 is the rate that homes are being absorbed over the last 90 days in Brookfield. That's not month supply of inventory, however. That's just step 1, is calculating the actual absorption rate. So 10.7 is now your rate of absorption. So jot that down on the side someplace. Then you want to click out of closed and click here in active. Active, there are 65 single family homes on the market in Brookfield. So in order to get the month's supply of inventory, you're going to take that 65, which is the number of actives, and divide it by the rate of absorption, which we just calculated to be 10.7. 65 divided by 10.7 is 6, almost 6.1. So you have 6.1 months supply of inventory in the town of Brookfield, which means if nothing else came on the market, it would take 6 months at current absorption rates to eat through all of the active inventory. Now, as you know, 1 to just below 4 is a seller's market. Sorry, 1 to 4 is a seller's market. 5 to 6 is kind of a transitional market, and anything above 6 is a buyer's market, right? So right now, as a town, Brookfield is right there on the cusp of a buyer's market. Now, just to show you why that doesn't make a hill of beans, I want to show you the difference between what's the median sale price in Brookfield? It's probably, see, I should have looked this up before I.
350.
Is median?
Yeah.
I think it's a little higher than that. I think it's.
Yeah, I think the median is probably a little higher. All right, so
it's like 468.
So because I like to do things right, give me just 1 second, and I will tell you exactly what the median is. Okay, median sale price for the last year in Brookfield is $449. Okay, so that's the median sale price for the last year, $449. So now let's go back to where we were. All right, so the point I want to make to you is if you do below the median, so that's going to be 0 to 450, and do the same exercise. So there have been 23 properties that have sold in the last 90 days. 23 divided by 3 to get to a per month number is 7.7. So 7.7 is the absorption rate for properties under 450, under the median in Brookfield. Then you click up here on active. You have 25 active properties. So 25 divided by the absorption rate of 7.7 is 3.2. So the whole town has 6.1 months supply of inventory, which is just tipping into a buyer's market. However, anything under 450 right now, with current trends, you're well into a seller's market at 3 months supply of inventory. Do you see how different that is? Now I'm going to do it one more time just to make my point and allow you to hear it one more time. So then 451 plus, so that's everything over the median. You're going to click on closed, 0 to 90. 9 properties in the last 3 months have sold over the median in the town of Brookfield. So that's, divide that number by 3 to get a per month absorption rate. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And so then you click off closed and on to active. There are 40 properties currently on the market over the median in Brookfield. If you divide 40 by the rate of absorption of 3 properties per month, you get over 13 months supply of inventory. So depending on where you're placing a property on the market in Brookfield, does the math matter? Right, the math matters hugely from 3 months supply well into a seller's market to 13 months supply, which is well into a really heavy buyer's market, right? So the days of just looking at a town as a whole and offering a number as a month's supply of inventory are 110% gone, because those numbers don't mean anything anymore. You've really got to get specific and break things down by price point. Now, I just did over and under the median. You could start doing price brackets. As a matter of fact, I encourage price brackets depending on your town and the positioning of your property, so that people can see, are things moving slower or faster if they go in one bracket or another bracket. Timing is really important to a lot of people, so this is a great tool to help you have that discussion so that they can choose based on timing. Remember, it's not always price that drives a seller. Sometimes timing drives a seller, and they need to know where they need to position themselves to move as quickly as possible. Is this all making sense to you? It's a pretty simple formula, right? You can go in and check this in 2 minutes before you have a conversation with a seller. And I encourage you to absolutely to check that before you have a conversation with a seller. I know there's a couple of things in the chat. I just want to make sure that, yes, okay. So any other questions on that? I'll answer the one question that I get asked a lot. Why do you run 3 months supply and then divide it by 3 instead of just running a month? Anybody have an answer for that?
Seasonal volatility, market swings, etc.
Yeah, you need the 3 months of data to give you a better number, right? 30 days back doesn't give you enough data to give you a trend, right? So we go back 90 days and then divide it by 3, so you still get that per month average, which gives you that absorption rate. Any other questiones? All righty. Well, as always, it's a pleasure to spend my day with you. Wilson says, good evening. Have a lovely, lovely afternoon and early evening. We will connect with you again tomorrow at 9. And hey, do me a favor before you leave. Just scroll through the participant list, and if you see someone missing, give them a text and say, hey, we missed you on the calls today. If every one of the 55 of you invites one other person, we'll double our attendance tomorrow and make sure that people are getting the information that they need to run businesses and close transactions, right? It's the people who aren't joining us that are missing out on really important stuff that I'm most fearful for in terms of their ability to create an income for themselves come the summer. So know that we are watching out for them, and we're contacting them on the back end because we get the attendance lists. But it means more coming from each of you. So if every single person on this call would do me a favor and just scroll through the participant list before you log off, and find someone who's not there that you know and you care about, go ahead and text them and say, hey, we're missing you on the calls. Please plug in. Right? That'd be awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow at 9.